I have the idea to create a sustainable garden and hydroelectric generator on hotel rooftops. This is a common practice among our European neighbors, but they do not do this for the tourism sector, only industrial and residential areas. Many rooftop gardens are currently created for looks or just CO2 consumption. I would like to build a garden with the intention to provide vegetables and fruits for the hotel's kitchen and guests. These gardens would also be equipped with rain trapping materials to catch rain during storms. This rain would be gravity fed to the ground and pass through a turbine on the way down, creating hydroelectric power for use in any area needed. It would only generate power during storms, but it would reduce the hotel's carbon footprint overall. In an area with moderately heavy rainfall, every square meter of rain collection would generate about 2,087 watts of electricity. This can be easily scaled up depending on the size of the roof and how heavy and frequent rainfall is. For instance, the Seattle Westin has a roof surface area and height that could generate 5,000 kilowatts of continuous electricity while it rains there. That could power over 300 full-size AC units all day long. If this hotel split their roof service area into two sections, one dedicated to a garden and the other half dedicated to water collection, the building could absorb as much as 60,000 pounds of CO2 and generate as much as 5,000 kilowatts for 150 days out of the year while it rains there. This saves about 3,000 pounds of CO2 per year by means of hydroelectric power. These savings could sustain about 75 people's respiratory CO2 output. This project can be somewhat difficult to implement. The first step is to ensure hotels can support the top weight of the garden and the people on the roof. However, most hotels above 20 stories can already do this. Once the building is structurally sound, piping must be installed that runs the height of the building. Many buildings already have spare auxiliary pipelines built into them that could be easily hijacked to serve the hydroelectric turbine's requirements. After the installation of the pipes, the building must decide whether the water will be used for the building's sake or if it will be returned to groundwater supply to recharge natural water wells. Drilling is needed to return the water underground. If the building will use it, the storage tanks at the bottom of the hotel will need to be connected to the central water line and a pump will need to be installed. A hotel will need to either hire local gardeners or find volunteers to come out and plant the garden on the roof, as well as find people to maintain it. The building could use gardeners already on the payroll or have volunteers maintain it. Construction should not be very time-consuming, especially because above-ground gardening is the best way to do this. There would be no need to offload dirt onto the roof and dig to plant the greenery. Many people could use this. It's not limited to the tourism sector. The government could easily implement this on their taller buildings with larger roof surface areas. Community centers could also take advantage of this. For example, the Phoenix Convention Center has enough surface area to support a large rooftop garden. The outcome can be easily scaled from previous measurements to predict rough impacts. Any hotel with a roof surface area of about 11,000 square feet and about 130 meters tall can implement a garden and hydroelectric generator to consume nearly 64,000 pounds of CO2 every year, almost 32 tons. Converting 5 buildings like this could consume nearly 160 tons of CO2 every year. This is enough to consume 375 people's respiratory CO2 output per year. There are essentially no buildings that harness the CO2 absorbing power of plant life and the natural potential energy gravity generates in order to reduce the world's carbon footprint. Converting hotels into buildings with rooftop gardens and gravity-fed hydroelectric generators could go a long way in reducing the population's carbon impact.